Kid survivalists versus zombies. This is gonna be awesome. Not if this movie has anything to say about it. So let's get you up to speed. You have 3 scouts. One is fairly normal, if not a little shy and awkward. Another is Mr. Sensitive, and the last one's a walking, talking D-bag that makes any nostalgia you might have for high school melt away real fast. The 3 are social outcasts, truthfully in the world of the film, probably for being scouts, but they end up thinking that they got invited to the party being thrown by the cool kids. Problem is, the party conflicts with their camping trip, but Normal Guy and Mr. D-Bag decide that they're gonna ditch Mr. Sensitive for a few hours, and only to find out that zombies have taken up residence in their hometown while they were gone for probably 6 to 10 hours. Scout's Guide to the Zombie Apocalypse is one of those movies that had a good idea. With all the ways we see zombies on the screen and how often they are really serious takes on the subject, the concept of taking scouts and putting them against zombies as a last line of defense was a really good idea, and it could have been great, but it wasn't. Which is a shame, because this should have been the next Shaun of the Dead. You know, outcast with no inherent combat abilities fighting to survive in a zombie outbreak. But part of the problem is that it's not all that funny. I like crude, raunchy comedy as much as the next guy, so long as the jokes are funny, clever, or at least well done. This film feels like it was a comedy assignment for a mediocre film class, and this was a submission by an 18-year-old virgin who just wanted to get it done so he could hit up P-Hub. Now, like I said, I like a good raunchy comedy with a bunch of dirty, funny jokes. It's a beloved category of films of mine, but in Scout's Guide to the Zombie Apocalypse, the jokes were mostly cheap and unfunny. They were the low-hanging fruit and didn't seem like the writer really tried all that hard. The movie was often too mundane to be awesome. They crammed all these cool scenes in the trailer and made it out to be this awesome zombie slaying, headshot taking, laugh-a-minute movie with improvised methods of dispatching the undead, but it wasn't. The awesome scenes where they were putting down zombies was really just the end of the movie, and up to that point, it was mostly meandering around for this reason or that. So by the time the zombies do arrive, which took longer than I would have liked, you still have to wait even longer to get those awesome combat scenes with a pack-a-punched weed whacker. The wait for the zombies gave the movie no purpose, because despite that extra time before the zombies were a relevant factor, the characters weren't really added onto or developed. They remained bland, uninteresting, and mostly one note. Toss in a stripper, and they still couldn't capitalize on the characters and add on to them and make situations that really just fleshed them out. It felt like they wanted to make a fun, entertaining movie based on a good premise, but then from that point on, they screwed everything up. I have no issues with a movie that knows it won't win any serious awards for being good, but still ends up having fun. But Scouts for most of the movie substitutes cheap jokes for fun. A good chunk of the movie itself just feels aimless. Even the dialogue in the movie felt cringy, and quite often was enough to pull me from the movie. But like the jokes occasionally landing, on occasion the dialogue also would land, feeling organic and natural. But again, like the jokes, good dialogue for this movie was the exception, not the rule. Scout's Guide was a premise with potential, but with poor writing, and writers that fundamentally did not seem to have a good grasp on raunchy comedy. That and more factors contributed to ruining the film. It is a shame, because this movie had potential to be something different, to be fun, interesting, and innovative, and ultimately breathe fresh air into a zombie genre that has become a little stale. But it failed too many things to be good. Some of the performances were solid, despite the characters themselves not being all that complex, or even more than one note. Along with that, a few jokes landed, a few bits of dialogue felt organic, and it had one awesome combat scene that I would have liked more of, but none of this was enough to save the film. The problem is that when you look at Scouts in its entirety, for much of the movie, there's little purpose to it, and it's not all that redeemable, ultimately ending up being mostly disappointing. Scout's Guide to the Zombie Apocalypse earns a D+. What do you think of Scouts? Did you enjoy it? And if you did, what did you like about it? Drop that, literally anything else, in the comments below, and have a great day.